Are you always searching for deeper meaning while others are just going through the motions? If so, there's a chance you might belong to one of the rarest personality types out there, the INFJ. It stands for introvert, intuitive, feeling, and judging. They make up less than 2% of the world's population, and they're known for being a little mysterious, incredibly empathetic, and full of insight.
Puis j'aime bien repérer le petit détail que personne ne verra jamais. Par contre, j'aime pas dans les vieux films américains quand les conducteurs regardent pas la route.
So, if you're curious whether you might be one of these elusive types or not, watch the video till the end. INFJs often feel like they don't quite fit in. They have always felt different and maybe a little lonely. From a young age, they may have struggled to find people who share their perspectives. They might look around and think, why don't people see things the way I do? Vincent van Gogh, for example, was often misunderstood, yet he turned his unique perspective into timeless art. That's the kind of depth an INFJ carries. It's not that they can't be social, it's just that they crave deeper, meaningful connections, which can be hard to find. For example, small talk about the weather? No thanks. INFJs would rather dive into big picture topics like life goals or dreams. And when they commit to something, they commit fully, because half measures just don't work for them. INFJs are known for their all or nothing attitude toward life. They are either fully in or fully out. They don't like wasting time on anything they feel isn't genuine, whether it's relationships, projects, or even hobbies. INFJs invest their energy only when it feels authentic. For example, in the workplace, an INFJ will join a team if it's truly dedicated. But if they sense any fake enthusiasm or office politics, they might lose interest quickly. It's this authenticity that draws people in, often making INFJs an unexpected confidant for others. Have you ever had a total stranger tell you their life story within minutes? INFJs seem to have this natural warmth that makes people feel comfortable sharing their deepest secrets. This isn't a coincidence. It's actually part of their empathetic nature. Princess Diana's empathetic nature had a similar effect, with her ability to connect with people on a deep level was truly INFJ-like. INFJs have a way of making others feel safe, and they're genuinely good listeners who meet people where they are. You rely on your gut feelings. And yet, there's something even more uncanny about INFJs. It's not uncommon for INFJs to just know things. They rely on their gut feelings. Without much explanation, they have an almost eerie sense of intuition. They can quickly read a person's character and often sense hidden motivations.
Do not do well in captivity.
How do you know this?
That's what I do. I drink and I know things.
But for INFJs, it's more like, I think deeply and I just know things. This intuitive gift allows them to connect with others in ways that feel almost magical, as they're surprisingly adaptable when the situation calls for it. They are social chameleons and have a surprising adaptability to blend in and adapt to social situations. At a party, they might be outgoing and fun for a while, but after that, they need to retreat and recharge. You might shine during a presentation, but find yourself exhausted afterward. Those close to them know they'd rather have an intimate conversation at a cozy cafe than go clubbing. They're always balancing that social adaptability with their need for solitude. So when it comes to relationships, they keep things close to the heart. You prefer a small circle of close friends. INFJs might know a lot of people, but they keep their inner circle small and close. They are extremely loyal to the few friends they allow in. And these friendships are deep and meaningful. They might not see their friends every day, but they cherish these bonds and can pick up right where they left off, even after months. This same loyalty and focus extend to their values and beliefs, which they'll defend fiercely. INFJs don't just have opinions, they have strong convictions, and when they commit to something, they stand by them. Just like Greta Thunberg's fierce advocacy for climate change reflects this INFJ conviction and determination. If an INFJ believe a relationship, job, or even a policy doesn't align with their values, they'll have no problem walking away. These convictions can make them seem intense to others, but for an INFJ, it's simply about staying true to who they are. This sense of purpose often drives their determination and high standards in everything they do. They set high standards for themselves and are detail-oriented, which makes them high achiever and a bit of a perfectionist. However, this high achiever mindset also makes them sensitive to criticism. They tend to take feedback to heart, which can lead to anxiety if they feel they're not meeting expectations. INFJs strive for perfection and often push themselves harder than they need to. And that's why, when faced with choices, INFJs always follow their heart. You follow your heart when making decisions. INFJs always follow their heart as they prioritize emotional and personal insight when making decisions. They trust their gut, often choosing options that resonate with them on an emotional level rather than simply looking at practical or logical factors. For instance, if given the choice between two jobs, an INFJ will likely pick the one that feels right, even if it isn't the most lucrative. INFJs prefer to spend time alone and develop enriched inner lives with many hobbies and skills. Many INFJs are natural writers or artists. They tend to have a rich inner world that they express creatively, whether through writing, drawing, or other art forms. Not surprisingly, famous writers like J.K. Rowling, Carl Jung, and Agatha Christie are all believed to have been INFJs. Writing allows them to communicate their complex thoughts and emotions in a way that feels natural. What makes them stand out? J.K. Rowling's rich imagination and ability to create a deeply emotional world like Harry Potter reflect INFJ traits of introspection and empathy. She's shared how her personal experiences shaped her characters, resonating with millions. For INFJs, writing and art aren't just hobbies, they're powerful ways to express their rich inner world. And even as they create, they're constantly reflecting on life's deeper questions. INFJs spend a lot of time in their own heads, i.e., they are deep thinker and constantly reflecting on life, meaning, and purpose. This introspective nature can make them seem serious or overly thoughtful. They're often seen as old souls and are drawn to reading, learning, and understanding the world on a deeper level. While this is a beautiful trait, it's also important for them to stay balanced and avoid overthinking. And just as they reflect on themselves, they also look outward, seeking ways to help and heal others. They are known as fixers. They're compassionate and naturally drawn to helping others, especially those who need healing. They see potential in others, often taking on the role of counselor or healer. Mother Teresa's decision to dedicate her life to serving others reflects this INFJ clarity and purpose. However, this desire to help can also be draining if they don't set boundaries, as they're prone to giving a lot of themselves without expecting anything in return. Mother Teresa is a perfect example of INFJ energy, dedicating her life to uplifting others. But on the flip side of their nurturing traits, INFJs also wrestle with the weight of criticism. INFJs often take criticism to heart. Even constructive feedback can feel like a personal attack because of their deep emotional connection to their work. This sensitivity isn't a weakness. It's part of their desire to do things with authenticity and excellence. While they might seem composed on the outside, negative feedback can affect their self-esteem. This makes them their own toughest critic. While criticism weighs heavily on their hearts, their empathy extends to the environment around them, where they can sense the emotional tone of any situation. INFJs are experts at reading between the lines and understanding unspoken feelings, making them deeply attuned to the mood of any room they enter. Whether it's a social gathering or a work meeting, they can quickly sense the mood of a room and adapt to it. This ability to read between the lines allows them to understand situations more deeply than others. They're energized by positivity, but may feel drained by negative vibes. You're idealistic, but practical when necessary. But while they're sensitive and empathetic, INFJs also have a practical side. Though they're idealists at heart, they know when to be grounded and take realistic steps toward achieving their goals, making them both visionary and pragmatic. However, they're not unrealistic. They know when to take a step back and be practical about their goals. This combination of idealism and practicality makes them both visionary and grounded. They understand that while change takes time, small actions lead to big impacts. You might feel like some signs describe you perfectly, while others don't quite fit. That's okay. It could mean you're not an INFJ, but simply an introvert. And that's equally fascinating. If you're curious about how to embrace your introverted nature and boost your confidence, stay tuned for our next video. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.